Okay, welcome back. I'm Joel Lourie, and we're talking in this series of videos about health insurance. Joining me for today's conversation is my friend Jeff Johnson. Jeff, welcome.
Thank you, Joel.
Jeff is our senior account manager for health insurance. Does a great job with all of our clients at Lourie Life and Health. Jeff, let's just jump right into it.
Sure.
A lot of times people have questions because they hear all these different terms associated with the health insurance policy. First question, what does it mean if you have a deductible?
Deductible is the first dollar that needs to be met by the insured. So the member needs to spend that much money, which is the deductible, before the carrier is going to cover any sort of other bills that generates.
Okay, so until a member meets their deductible, and usually that's going to happen at the beginning of the year,
Correct.
You know, sometime during the first quarter, maybe later, depending on how much somebody uses health insurance, they have to meet that before the insurance carrier will pick up the additional portion. And that additional portion is called what?
That's when you get into your co-insurance.
Okay, what is co-insurance?
Co-insurance is the portion or percentage that the member is responsible for. The carrier is responsible for their percentage. The member is responsible for their percentage. So once you meet your deductible, let's say you have a 50% co-insurance.
Okay.
I'm going to pay 50% of that bill after my deductible is met.
Right.
The carrier is going to pay the additional 50%.
Now, sometimes people get confused with the term co-insurance and co-payment.
Exactly.
Okay, so I know at co-insurance, you said that, you know, maybe it's in a 50-50 plan, or a lot of plans are 70-30. Insurance company pays 70, my co-insurance is 30. Where does a co-payment fit into that equation?
If you have an insurance plan that has a co-payment plan,
Right.
that is a certain dollar amount that's a schedule in the health plan itself. That means that the member is going to be responsible for whatever that co-payment is to see that physician.
So hypothetically, it can be $25 to see a primary care doctor, $50 to see a specialist.
That's correct.
That's called a co-payment.
That's exactly right.
Okay, great. So a co-payment is a fixed dollar amount. Co-insurance is a percentage.
Correct.
All right. Jeff, another question people will ask is whether or not their prescription drugs are covered by an insurance carrier. And that's where the term formulary comes in. What is a formulary?
Formulary is the term of whether or not that certain carrier covers that drug.
So it's like a list of covered drugs.
That's correct.
All right. And within a formulary, you may have different categories, right?
That's correct.
Like generics may be one price, and then what they might call tier 1 or tier 2. The higher the tier, in most cases, they're usually more expensive.
That's correct.
All right. So really, when someone's looking for a health plan, they want to make sure that their prescription is covered, and they want their agent to check what?
They want to check the formulary.
Check the formulary.
Yes, sir.
All right, Jeff, here's a good one for you. A lot of times we hear the term MOOP, M-O-O-P, or maximum out-of-pocket. So if somebody's got a health insurance plan, and within that summary of benefits, it says your maximum out-of-pocket is this. What does a maximum out-of-pocket mean?
Maximum out-of-pocket in short term is the maximum exposure that the member is going to be responsible for.
Okay.
So if I have a maximum out-of-pocket of $5,000 and I have an insurance plan where I've met my deductible, my co-insurance is paid up to $5,000, that means that I have met my max out-of-pocket or my MOOP, and that's going to be there for the rest of the year. The insurance carrier will cover the rest of the bills.
And where we've seen that come in handy with clients of ours is if somebody goes in and has a very expensive surgery, or they're on chemotherapy that gets expensive, that the maximum out of pocket, once they hit that ceiling, they're done for the year, and the insurance company will still pay their health claims.
That's
Is that
correct.
right?
That's correct.
That's great. Last question, Jeff, because
Yes,
you've
sir.
done a great job. We talk a lot about networks, and a lot of times somebody will say, well, is my doctor a network? Or what happens if my doctor's not a network? What is a network?
Network is very important because if you have an insurance plan that has in-network coverage only, Joel, that means if we don't find out whether or not that provider's in that client's or that member's network, they may have either less coverage or no coverage at all.
So really, it's real important when somebody is looking at a health insurance policy. It's one of the things that you do here at Lourie Life and Health, and our whole team of insurance agents does. But whether you're working with us or whether you're working with someone else, you really want them to check that network.
Absolutely.
Because if you go to a provider that's not a network, or as we discussed earlier, if your prescription drugs are not on the formulary, your health care could get very expensive because in many cases it won't be covered by your plan.
100% correct.
All right, Jeff Johnson, thanks for joining us, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Joel.
I'm Joel Lourie, and please keep checking back for other video sessions about how health insurance works and how you can get the most out of your plan.